welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Natalia, a certified Pilates instructor. Today I'm doing a video that's slightly different to the workouts that I normally throw out there. I wanted to give you something that would be really informative and really helpful for you when planning your own workouts and just knowing what exercises to do. So I'm going to show you the 10 best exercises to do with small weights like dumbbells. Now, these are Pilates exercises, so it's more about high rep and low weight. Today I'm going to use 1.5 kg. That's 1.5 kg, which is probably about between 1 to 3 pounds if you're in America. So basically it's just about using really light weights but knowing how to do that correctly with correct form. We're going to go through 10 exercises. 3 of these exercises are upper body focused, 3 are core focused, and 3 are lower body focused. Then the last exercise is my personal favorite exercise to do with weights, and it's also a really good full body exercise. So make sure you stay till the end when I reveal my favorite exercise, which I love to include in all of my classes. Before we get started, just a quick disclaimer. If you have any medical conditions, please speak to your doctor or medical practitioner first before doing any type of workout, and just make sure that you are able to do Pilates. Also, if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel, leave a like or a comment. It really does help me out a lot more than you know. 60% of you are actually not subscribed, so please subscribe, it will mean so much to me. Okay, let's get started with the exercises. Let's start with upper body. So the first exercise is called the pole raise. This is a fantastic exercise to mobilize your shoulder joints and to really strengthen them, and it really helps to perfect your posture and how you stand, and it also helps with maintaining core stability and core strength. You can do this exercise either standing up or kneeling. You're going to have your arms by your sides holding onto your dumbbells. Then you want to reach your arms all the way up to the ceiling. Bend your arms to the side. You want approximately a 90-degree bend at the elbow. Lift your arms back up to the ceiling and then lower your arms by your sides. And just keep repeating, raising your arms up to the ceiling, bending your arms to the side, reaching your arms up to the ceiling, and then bring them back down to your sides. I suggest doing this one up to 10 times. Make sure you're doing this nice and slowly with control, making sure you're keeping that neutral spine, neutral pelvis. Now, mistakes that I see in class are people are flaring their rib cage, they're arching their lower back, or they're leaning forwards as they do this exercise. Try to avoid that if you can. Try to keep that nice flat back. When I say flat back, I just mean that neutral spine. So keeping those curves in your spine present that are natural without hunching forwards or leaning backwards. Okay, the next exercise is your bicep curl. Now, this is fantastic for your biceps and for toning your arms and just giving you a really nice toned look and for making you stronger. You are either standing or kneeling on your knees. You can even be sat down actually with this one. Have your arms by your sides with your palms facing outwards. As you inhale, bend your arms, keeping your upper arm nice and still. Exhale, lengthen your arms, return your arms by your sides. And just keep repeating this. Inhale, bend your arms. Exhale, bring your arms back by your sides. Now, something to look out for is moving your arms to the side. So just really try to keep your upper arm nice and still. Try not to move your upper arm around too much, because then you're kind of taken away from the exercise. You really want to keep your arms close to your body as you bend and straighten your arms. Again, really watch out for those ribs not flaring. Try not to lean backwards or hunch forwards. You want to be stood nice and still and in that neutral spine. So So just standing nice and tall. I suggest definitely doing at least 10 reps of this exercise. Because you've got a light dumbbell, you can probably work up to 20, and that's going to fatigue your muscles in a safe way. So rather than using a 20 kg dumbbell at the gym and only managing to do 8 reps because you're so tired and you're almost definitely going to lose your form, stick to that lightweight and do more reps. You're still going to work your muscles, and in my opinion, you're doing it in a much safer way, avoiding injury as well. Next exercise is your tricep extension. So a really good one to work your triceps, to tone your arms. Your triceps are here. So this is a part of your arm where you do store fat. So this is a good one to do to mobilize and to work that muscle. Okay, so we're starting lying on our backs this time. Make sure you've got your feet hip distance apart and parallel. Make sure you're nice and neutral in your spine and pelvis before you start the exercise. Then grab your dumbbells, bring your arms up to the ceiling, have your dumbbells touching each other. Make sure you've got your wrists above your shoulders before you start the exercise. Then as you inhale, you're going to bend at the elbow joint, taking your arms backwards. Exhale, lengthen your arms. So as you bend your arm, the dumbbell will touch your head, but obviously don't slam the dumbbell on your head. Just let it tap slightly and then lengthen your arm again. Try to keep your upper arm still. Again, if your upper arm starts moving around like I'm demonstrating in the video. So here I'm demonstrating what not to do. Again, you're going to take away from the exercise and you're taking the benefits away. You're going to end up working your shoulders in a way that's not great for you, and it might cause injury in your shoulder joints. So make sure you keep your upper arm nice and still. Also, use your core, so engage that core to keep that neutral spine. Avoid flaring those ribs, avoid arching your lower back or sinking your lower back into the mat. That's really important with every exercise, by the way. Brilliant. So I suggest, if you can, work up to 20 reps, but start with 10, start with just one dumbbell if you need to, and then work your way up to 2. And by all means, go a bit heavier with that dumbbell if you want to. That's completely up to you, but don't go so heavy that you lose that form, because form in Pilates is the most important thing. We are moving into your core section, or the midsection, with these next 3 exercises. So we'll start with the easiest one of the 3, and that's your waist twist. So this is a great exercise to really work those deep intrinsic muscles. So you're getting into those internal and external obliques, and these are the muscles underneath your rectus abdominis muscle, which is your six-pack muscle. So the muscle that everyone wants to show off, and everyone wants to have that six-pack muscle showing, but I actually really think that you need to work the muscles underneath that as well to get a really nice strong core. So your waist twist is going to help with that. So the waist twist with your dumbbells, you want to have your dumbbells touching. So they are touching each other like this. You want your elbows out to the side. Again, you're standing nice and tall. So neutral spine, neutral pelvis. You're either standing or you're kneeling. You want to take an inhale to prepare. As you exhale, start rotating through your spine, keeping your hips facing forwards. Then inhale, come back to the center, and keep alternating sides. So you exhale to waist twist, inhale, come back to the center. Again, with this one, something to look out for is leaning backwards as you waist twist, or hunching forwards. Try to avoid that as much as you can, and just make sure you're standing nice and tall. So nice neutral spine, neutral pelvis. Actually, something to think about with this one, and it's something I always mention in my classes, is imagine you're a doll in a box. So you know, in a jewelry box, they've got those dolls and they just rotate to the music. but they stand nice and tall. They don't hunch forwards or lean backwards. So imagine you're a doll in a box, just rotating and working those muscles. I suggest doing 10 of these alternating sides to begin with. Your next exercise, which is one of my personal favorites, and I include this in so many of my classes, and that is the roll back. We are sitting down with this one. Your legs are bent, your feet are hip distance apart and parallel. You're sat nice and tall. So again, think neutral spine, neutral pelvis. Really lengthen through those sitting bones. Your sitting bones are the bones that you sit on that you sometimes feel when you're sat down on your bottom. So again, sit nice and tall, have your arms in front of you at shoulder level, holding on to either 1 or 2 dumbbells. As you inhale, come into a C curve. So you want to round your back and imagine you're creating a C shape with your spine. You want your shoulders above hips. As you exhale, start rolling back, really scooping that tummy in. So really working that core as you roll back. You're rolling back as far as you can maintain that C curve. Take an inhale to hold that position. Then as you exhale, roll forwards back into that C curve, then restack your spine. Okay, and just keep going. Inhale, C curve, exhale, roll back. Inhale, hold that position. Exhale, restack and sit nice and tall. I definitely would do up to 10 reps of this. Start with 5 and then work your way up. Something to avoid is your back going flat as you roll back. So if you're losing that C curve, that C shape with your spine, you might have gone back a bit too far, or the dumbbell you're using might be too heavy. So either drop the weight or come forward slightly so you're not rolled back so far. Also, another thing to look out for is when you roll forwards back into that C curve, bringing your shoulders too far forwards. So your shoulders going beyond your hips. That's a no-go. So make sure as you roll forwards back into that C curve, you've got your shoulders above hips. Then restack your spine. This is such a good exercise because as you get more comfortable with it, you can start adding a waist twist. You can roll back, lift your arms up in the air. There's just so much you can do with this to make it more challenging, to make it more fun. So as you progress with this exercise, start adding things to it, make it creative, maybe add a leg lift. You're going to see some great results and you're going to feel your core getting so much stronger. Okay, the next exercise for your core is the hundreds. Now, I think this one is really tough to do even without weights. So work your way up to this one. So this is such a good exercise for your core to strengthen and to tone your stomach muscles. It's also going to really work your arms and your shoulders. You're also learning to keep that stability in your upper back because you need to keep your curl up as you do the hundreds. You are inhaling for 5 arm beats, exhaling for 5 arm beats. If you can, until you get to 100, but obviously you don't have to go to 100 when you're just starting out. So you're grabbing those dumbbells and doing small arm beats. Feel free to drop the weight if you need to, if it feels a bit too challenging. You can also bring your head down if you need to, or lower your legs down if you need to. You don't have to be in that double knee fold with your legs lifted and bent, and you definitely don't have to extend your legs. You can progress up to that for sure. But firstly, just get to grips with the curl up and engage in that core as you do the arm beats. Now, something to look out for is to not straining your neck and looking up at the ceiling as you do that curl up. That just means you're starting to fatigue and you're getting tired. So if that happens, just bring your head down and continue the arm beats until you get to 100. Ideally, you want to be curled up high enough so that you're looking straight ahead or you're looking towards the edge of your mat, rather than straining your neck and looking up at the ceiling. Because if you do that, you will start to feel pain in the back of your neck and that's not ideal. So yeah, just play around with that. If you start to fatigue, bring your head down. That's absolutely fine. Lovely, okay. So you've got your 3 upper body exercises, 3 core exercises. We're moving on to lower body. And the first one is your squat. So a fantastic functional exercise that I think everyone should be doing as much as possible. You're standing with your feet hip distance apart and parallel. You're holding onto those dumbbells with your arms by your sides. As you inhale, you squat down, really pushing those hips back, using your knees and ankles. Exhale, come up to standing. You're doing 10 of these. Progress up to 20 because you have got a light dumbbell. Again, inhale, squat down, really push those hips back. Exhale, come up to standing. Now we know this is a really good exercise to strengthen your legs, your glutes, to grow that booty. So the squat is also actually quite good for your knees because you're strengthening your hips and your glutes, which puts less pressure on your knee joints if you've got knee pain, but obviously it's something you need to work up to. Something to look out for is hunching forwards as you squat down or arching your lower back. Again, think keeping a nice flat back or that neutral spine. So always think neutral spine, neutral pelvis. With the squat, really push those hips back as much as you can. And obviously try not to squat down so low, which is something that happens a lot and something that I see a lot. Sometimes you can squat really low and then your knees lock or you start wobbling around. You want to keep your legs nice and aligned, so knees going in line with your toes as you squat down and come up to standing. Now once you've mastered the squat and you feel comfortable doing the squat, why not add some balance and do your squat on tiptoes, which is my next exercise, which I love doing, and I include it in so many of my classes because alongside all the other benefits of the squat, so strengthening your legs, your glutes, your knees, your ankles, you're also adding balance. So that's really good for you, and especially as you age, when we get older, we kind of lose our balance a little bit. So it's important to work on our balance. Again, engage that core. Inhale, squat down. Exhale, come up to standing. Push those hips back. Keep that neutral spine. Watch out for rounding your back or squatting down so low that you can't come back up again because you're on tiptoes. And yeah, just also watch out for arching your lower back. Okay, keep that neutral spine. I would start with 10 reps and then if you can work your way up. Okay, your last exercise for your lower body is your tabletop legs. So with this one, we're on all fours. You want your wrists directly underneath your shoulders, your knees directly underneath your hips, and a nice neutral spine. You want to place the weight behind your knee and then just have a grip so that you don't drop the weight. Then as you inhale, you're lifting your leg up into a knee fold. Exhale, lower your leg back down. And just keep going. As you lift your leg up, really squeeze your glute muscle, so that's your booty muscle. Exhale, lower your leg back down. I suggest doing 10 of these to start with per leg, and then you can progress from there. You can add pulses, you can do 20 reps if you want to. You know, you can get creative with this one as well. Something to look out for is, again, not keeping that nice neutral spine. So you see a lot of lower backs dipping or sinking down into the mat because people want to lift the leg up as high as they can, and therefore their lower back starts to sink down. Now, you're not keeping that neutral spine, you're not engaging your core, so you're not doing it properly. Okay, so avoid that. Try to keep that neutral spine. So we are moving on to my last exercise and my personal favorite, drum roll. And this is the dead bug with a curl up. Now, I love this exercise so much because A, it's challenging, it's hard. B, you're working so many parts of your body. And C, you can really progress it and make it even more harder, add mini challenges to it, and it can be quite fun in the class setting. So I definitely want you to love this exercise as well. You're working your core, you're working your hips, your shoulders, you're learning how to coordinate, you're using your brain as well to know when to extend your opposite arm and leg, when to add the curl up, etc. I think it's so good. Okay, so this exercise, you're in that dead bug position, so arms and legs in the air, your legs are bent. You're going to inhale, extend your opposite arm and leg, exhale, return to your start position. And you're alternating sides, doing up to 10 of these. When you feel comfortable, add that curl up. So you inhale, extend your opposite arm and leg, exhale, curl up as you return your arm and leg back to your start position. I recommend doing 10 reps, alternating sides, and of course progress up to this if you want to, and you will want to as you get good at this exercise. So again, a thing to look out for is avoid flaring those ribs as you take your arm and leg backwards. Avoid sinking your low back into the mat as you return your arm and leg back to your start position. And obviously with that curl up, just make sure you're curling up high enough so that you're really working those core muscles, you're looking straight ahead and you're not looking up at the ceiling and straining your neck. Okay, so that is my 10 favorite exercises with the dumbbell. The dumbbell is such a good piece of equipment. I really recommend you get some dumbbells. They're super cheap, easily accessible, and if you don't have access to dumbbells, you can use tins of beans, bottles of water. Get creative and get moving. I hope you enjoyed this style of video, a bit more informative, a bit more of a class style video. Let me know if you'd like to see any more with other pieces of equipment, or I can do one with no equipment as well, my 10 favorite Pilates exercises, and really break them down and talk about them properly. Another thing, like I mentioned earlier in the video, 60% of you are not subscribed, so please make sure you hit that subscribe button, you like the video, and share this video with other people that might find it useful. It really would help me a lot more than you know. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you found this useful. I hope you do these exercises regularly, and I will see you next time. Bye!